Okay, here's the rewritten script in super simple English. Like friendly gossip you'd tell a friend. It's paragraph style, no timestamps, same info line by line, keeping the exact same length and details. It's 2026, and the most famous family in Hollywood history is officially gone forever. 10 years after that plane ride that changed everything, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are finally divorced. But their 6 kids have picked sides. They are all grown up now and building their own lives while cutting their dad out of the picture. Get ready to hear about the shock of their new reality. To understand what's happening in 2026, we have to go back to the one moment that broke this family apart. The date was September 14, 2016. The family was flying home from their winery in France to Los Angeles on a private jet. For years, we only heard rumors about what went down in the air. But now, we know the scary details that made Angelina file for divorce just days later. Reports from the FBI investigation show a crazy scene at 30,000 feet. It was a long flight, and everyone was tense. The reports said Brad had been drinking a lot. An argument got way out of hand. It wasn't just yelling, it turned physical. The documents said Brad choked one of the kids and hit another in the face. Imagine how terrified the kids felt watching this in a tiny metal tube way up in the sky. Things got even worse. There were claims that Brad grabbed Angelina by the head and shook her. At one point, beer got poured on Angelina while she was under a blanket. Then red wine and beer got poured on the kids. When the plane finally landed in Los Angeles, there was $25,000 worth of damage from all the spilled red wine. This was a total disaster. Angelina took the kids and left. The FBI looked into it because it happened in international airspace, but they closed the case with no charges. Still, that flight ended the marriage and started a war that lasted a whole decade. You might think a celebrity divorce takes a year or maybe 2. This one took 8 long years. It wasn't until December 2024 that a judge finally said the divorce was settled. Why did it take so long? It wasn't just about who gets the furniture. It was about custody of 6 kids and a winery worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Angelina wanted to heal her family. Her lawyer, James Simon, put out a statement saying Angelina was exhausted, but relieved this part was done. She filed for divorce to find peace and healing. Even though they were legally single back in 2019, the fight over money and property kept them connected until the end of 2024. Now in 2026, they are free. But being free doesn't mean they are friends. The tension is still there under the surface of their separate lives. Even though the marriage is officially over, there's one fight that hasn't stopped. It's a beautiful estate in the south of France called Chateau Miral. This is where Brad and Angelina got married. It's where they thought they would grow old together. Now it's the center of a $350 million lawsuit. The trouble started when Angelina wanted out of the wine business. In 2021, she sold her 50% share of the winery. She didn't sell it to Brad. She sold it to a company called Tenut del Mondo, which is part of the Stoll Group. This group is owned by a Russian billionaire named Yuri Sheffiler. Brad was really angry. He sued Angelina, saying they had a secret promise that neither would sell without the other one's okay. He called the sale a hostile takeover and said the new partner had bad connections that ruined the brand he built. Angelina had a reason for selling to a stranger. Her team said she wanted to sell to Brad first, but they claimed Brad demanded she sign a huge non-disclosure agreement or NDA. This NDA would have stopped Angelina from ever talking about Brad's bad behavior. It was a way to keep her quiet about the plane ride and the abuse claims. Angelina refused to stay silent. She said no to the hush money and sold her share to the Stoll Group instead. As we stand here in 2026, the legal battle is still going strong. Brad is suing Angelina for $35 million in damages. He says her sale hurt the value of the company. In a big twist, in late 2025, a judge ordered Angelina to hand over private emails and messages from the time of the sale. Brad's lawyers think these emails will prove Angelina secretly planned to sell the winery behind his back just to hurt him. While the lawyers argue, the winery is still making wine, but Angelina and the kids have promised never to go there again. While the lawsuits keep going, Angelina Jolie has rebuilt her life. Her net worth in 2026 it is estimated at $120 million. Some reports say she doesn't have much cash because she spent so much on legal fees fighting Brad, but her stuff is amazing. She lives in one of the most famous houses in Los Angeles. She bought the Cecil B. DeMille estate for $25 million. The house is huge. It has 6 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms. It sits on 2 acres of land with beautiful gardens and a pool with fountains. She bought this house because it was close to where Brad lived. She wanted the kids to be near their dad. Funny enough, the kids hardly ever go to Brad's house anymore. Angelina also loves fast cars. Her garage is full of fancy rides. She owns a 1958 Ferrari 250 GT Coupe. This car is super rare. Only a few hundred were made. It's black and worth over $1 million. She also drives a Jaguar XJ and a Mercedes Maybach S-Class. For everyday stuff, she uses a Lexus LS460RF or a GMC Acadia. She likes cars that are classy and strong just like her. She made a huge comeback in movies with the film Maria. In this movie, she plays Maria Callas, the greatest opera singer ever. The film is about the singer's sad last days in Paris in the 1970s. Critics said her acting was powerful. She spent months training her voice to sing opera. This role got her back on red carpets looking more glamorous and confident than ever. She is also directing a new movie called Stitches. This film is set in the high fashion world in Paris. It tells the story of 3 women whose lives crashed together during Fashion Week. The movie is expected to come out later in 2026. Angelina is filming it in Paris, and she hired her sons Maddox and Pax to help on set. It's clear Angelina is building a family business where she's in charge, and her kids are her partners. Angelina also jumped into fashion with a bold new project called Atelier Jolie. This isn't just a clothing store, it's a creative spot at 57 Great Jones Street in New York City. The building is famous. It used to belong to the artist Andy Warhol. In the 1980s, Warhol rented it to his friend, the graffiti artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat lived, worked, and eventually died in this building. Angelina kept the history alive. The outside is still covered in street art and graffiti. Inside, she kept the old graffiti tags on the walls. It's a place where artists and refugees can come to work and make sustainable fashion. It has a cafe run by refugees called Eat Off Beat. Across town lives Brad Pitt. At 62 years old, Brad is richer than ever. His net worth in 2026 is estimated at over $500 million. He's a big businessman. He sold a big part of his production company, Plan B Entertainment, in a deal that made the company worth $300 million. His movie F1, released in 2025, was a huge hit around the world. He worked with Lewis Hamilton to make the most real racing movie ever, and it made tons of money at the box office. Brad isn't alone in his big houses. He has a serious girlfriend named Inez de Ramon. She's 33 years old, which makes her 29 years younger than Brad. Inez is smart and successful. She speaks 5 languages, including German and Italian. She works as a high-level boss for a jewelry brand called Anita Co. This brand is known for selling fancy jewelry to stars like the Kardashians. Brad and Inez have been dating since late 2022. They moved in together in 2024. Now in 26, people say they live together full-time and are really committed. Inez is different from Angelina. She's private. She doesn't want attention. She gives Brad a calm and quiet life away from all the drama. They travel to Europe together and spend chill weekends at home. But even with rumors, they haven't gotten married yet. People say they're happy the way they are and don't want to rush into marriage. Brad has always loved architecture. In 2026, his real estate stuff is like a museum collection. His favorite is a house in Carmel Highlands called Seaward. He bought it for $40 million. It looks like a medieval castle stuck on a cliff. It was built in 1918 from local sandstone and granite. It was made to look like it grew out of the rocks. It looks like the legendary home of King Arthur. It's private and far away. It's like a fortress against the world. Back in Los Angeles, Brad owns the Steel House. He bought it for over $5 million. It's a cool mid-century modern place made of steel and glass. It has tropical plants and retro furniture. It used to belong to the guitarist from Maroon 5. It's smaller and cooler than his old family home. Brad actually sold the big compound where he raised the kids for $33 million in 2023. That house was full of family memories. By selling it, Brad closed the door on that part of his life. Brad's car collection is even crazier than Angelina's. He loves machines. He owns an Aston Martin Vanquish Carbon Edition. It's a beast that's as smooth as a James Bond car. He also has a Lamborghini Aventador, the most expensive car he owns. He was one of the first to own a BMW Hydrogen 7, which runs on hydrogen fuel. He also has lots of custom motorcycles, including a Ducati Monster. He loves bikes because he can wear a helmet and ride without people knowing it's him. Now, let's talk about the kids. In 2026, the Jolie Pitt kids are adults and making their own ways. Maddox is the oldest at 24 years old. He's the protector of the family. He was the one who supposedly stood up to Brad on that plane in 2016. In 26, he's a grown man with a real career. Maddox graduated from Yonsei University in South Korea. He studied biotechnology and life science. He speaks perfect Korean and is really smart. But he didn't become a scientist. He went back to movies. He's his mom's right-hand man. He worked as an assistant director on her movie Maria, and he's working on her new film Stitches in Paris. He's always by her side on set, making sure everything goes smooth. The relationship between Maddox and Brad doesn't exist. Maddox has zero contact with Brad. He spoke against him in court during the custody fight. He doesn't use the name Pitt. He's 100% Jolie. He's made it very clear whose side he's on. Pax is 22 years old. He's the rebel and the artist in the family. He's had a really tough couple of years. Pax didn't want to use his parents' fame, so he became a mystery in the art world. He makes abstract art under the fake name MTO. His art uses digital stuff and is described as dreamy but violent. He wanted people to judge his art, not his last name. In July 2024, Pax almost died. He was riding his e-bike in Los Angeles traffic. He wasn't wearing a helmet. He crashed into the back of a car stopped at a red light. Witnesses said his mouth was full of blood. He had head injuries and hip pain. He spent time in the ICU. Angelina stayed by his side every second. Brad was said to be upset but kept his distance. Pax is also really angry at his dad. On Father's Day in 2020, he posted a private Instagram story that got out to everyone. He called Brad a world-class awful person and said Brad made their lives constant hell. In 2026, that anger hasn't gone away. Pax also works on Angelina's movie sets, keeping him close to his mom and brother. He's part of the close group around Angelina. Zahara is 21 years old. She's the steady one in the family. She's smart, friendly, and down-to-earth. Zahara goes to Spelman College in Atlanta. It's one of the best historically black colleges in the country. She's doing great there. In 2023, she joined Alpha Kappa Alpha, the first black sorority ever. It was a huge deal. When she introduced herself to her sorority sisters, she shouted her name as Zahara Marley Jolie. She dropped Pitt right there in front of everyone. It was a strong message. She splits her time between school and hanging out with her brothers and sisters. She's the one who keeps them all connected. Shiloh is 19 years old. Her story was the biggest surprise. Shiloh was always seen as the perfect kid, the first biological daughter of Brad and Angelina. She looks just like both of them. But on her 18th birthday in May 2024, the first thing she did as an adult was file papers to legally change her name. She got her own lawyer and paid for it herself. She wanted to be just Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie. The judge waited a few months because of a background check thing, but it finally happened. It was a huge public way to reject her dad. She legally took his name off her identity. Shiloh is an amazing dancer. She trains at elite studios in Los Angeles. Videos of her dancing went viral on TikTok. She moves with strength and exactness. She was seen dancing to the hit song AP by Rosé and Bruno Mars. She's even been listed as a choreographer on some projects. She's moving away from acting and into professional dance. She's quiet and private, but her talent is super obvious. Vivian is 17 years old. She's the twin sister of Knox. She's quiet, thoughtful, and loves theater. At just 15, she helped her mom produce the Broadway musical The Outsiders. She wasn't just getting coffee. Angelina said Vivian was a serious assistant who took the job for real. The show was a hit and won Tony Awards. Vivian isn't scared of hard work. In 2025, she was seen working as an usher at a concert for the musical Reefer Madness. She was helping people to their seats like a regular teen. She doesn't act like a spoiled celebrity kid. Just like her sisters, she put her name in the playbill for The Outsiders as Vivian Jolie. She dropped Pitt professionally even before she could do it legally. Finally, we have Knox. He's 17 years old. He's the only one who's kind of a mystery. While his brothers and sisters are into art and dance, Knox is a fighter for real. He trains in Muay Thai kickboxing. He's strong and athletic. In July 2025, on his 17th birthday, he won a gold medal at a Muay Thai competition in Los Angeles. During training, he was seen fighting hard, and even got a bloody nose. He didn't quit. He wiped it off and kept going. He wore shorts that said tough and looked like a pro. In late 2025, Knox showed a shocking new look. He shaved his hair short and dyed it bright pink. It was a punk rock choice that shows he's finding his own style. Knox is the only one who hasn't publicly dropped the Pitt name yet. But Brad wasn't at his big fight. Only Angelina and Vivian were there cheering him on. Reports say Brad only sees the younger twins once in a while. Knox might be the last connection Brad has to his kids, but even that is barely hanging on. So, what does the future look like for the Jolie Pitt kids in 26? The sad truth is the family we used to know is gone forever. The Brangelina days are old news. Today, we have the Jolie dynasty and the Pitt empire. Angelina has brought all 6 kids into her world. They work on her movies. They help with her fashion brand. They live in her homes. They use her name. She's raised a team of artists, fighters, and smart people who are super loyal to her. She plans to move abroad as soon as the twins turn 18 in July 2026. She wants a life not centered in Los Angeles. She wants to take her family to Cambodia or Europe and leave Hollywood drama behind. Brad Pitt stands alone in his castle on the cliff. He has tons of money and an amazing career. He has a new girlfriend and a new life. But the connection to his kids seems broken, maybe forever. He's tried to get close again, but the hurt from that plane ride and years of court fights is too much. The real shock isn't just the divorce. The shock is how fully the kids have chosen one side. In 2026, the kids are doing great. They're succeeding, but as Jolies, not Pitts. And that's the reality of Hollywood's most famous family.